Hello and welcome to Bryan Living and Learning. I'm Sandy Farris with Bryan ISD. Today I'm in the Bryan High School Cosmetology Lab and I'll be talking in a few minutes with the instructor about some projects they have going. But first we want to tell you about some Sul Ross fourth graders who are learning that it's never too early to make good financial decisions.
We're here today at Ross Elementary with the fourth graders discussing a program that the FDIC has called Money Smart, and it's something that we can present in different schools, different agencies, high school, adults, any age group really is a good group to present this to help them learn about banking, savings, credit cards, all different kinds of things. Money Smart is a training program sponsored by the FDIC, and all banks are required to participate in this program in their communities. And what we do is help individuals outside the financial mainstream and help them enhance their money skills and create positive banking relationships. We can do it with fourth graders or adults, young adults, older people that maybe haven't ever had a checking account and need to have one to get their Social Security, direct deposits, things like that. Some of the different sessions and topics we can discuss are just a general banking overview, maintaining a checking account, budgeting, savings, consumer loans, credit history, mortgages, anything that consumers need to know about banking.
Look at that, 50 cents. So after the end of 1 year, the bank will give you 50 cents. So now how much do you have?
We really enjoy doing the fourth graders because it's a good age for them when they're starting to get allowances and learning about managing money and learning about money in their math class and social studies. And so they're really starting to get a good understanding of it, and it's just a good time to introduce savings accounts to them and preparing for their future.
A few weeks ago we told you about Project Open for Business, a new effort by Bryan ISD's Career Technology Department to showcase the goods and services that our students can offer the public. One of those is Bryan High School's Auto Technology Department, and they are open for business.
The main advantages we were looking for with the Open for Business program is to give the kids a feel for the real world work environment, so they'll actually take care with the maintenance work and all the light duty repairs that they'll be doing, anything from like flat repairs to changing oils, maintenance of transmissions, differentials, wheel alignments, to any like light duty repairs on a vehicle of minor oil leaks, water pumps, coolant systems, and coolant repairs or any electrical problems too. The students will have special days that they'll be doing their Open for Business work, and so they'll have basically their class core work and run for about 2 or 4 days during the week, and then they'll have a day or two during the week where it'll be just specifically related for Open for Business days. And the students will then try to schedule the work with the customers and the public. They can go to the Bryan ISD website, the drop-down menu, the project's Open for Business, and it has a link to us, or you can just call our phone number, area code 979-209-2570, and reach us there. And if we don't answer the phone, we're probably teaching a class, but if you just leave a message, we'll get back to you within the day. It'll be at a lower cost because it is students doing the work, but it will be ASE quality, supervised by me, master technician, the whole time. The funds being raised by this project we hope to use to help the students pay for their certification test so they can actually leave the program and go out into the workforce fully certified and ready to make a living. And then help the students also pay for travel on contest and to go compete in the contest where they can win awards and prizes for their successes on diagnostic skills and everything with the cars. One thing we thought with the funds too is to take and have scholarship funds set up for the students. So as they grow and achieve and get ready to leave the program, if they want to further their education, we can have scholarship funds available for them to go to any technical college or college to further their studies in automotive technology.
I think it was going to help us out a lot. We're going to have a lot of people coming in, and we're going to be learning from customers, learning how to deal with customers.
What a nice day. I love walking through our neighborhood with my mommy. So beautiful, except for that car. I am so mad. I'm calling the city of Bryan. Hello, city of Bryan? Please make them move this junk car. It doesn't have tags or a license, and it's up on blocks. It's not safe, and it's so ugly. I may just cry.
Don't make your neighbors cry. Junk vehicles are unsightly and unsafe. City ordinances prohibit junk vehicles that are visible from a public place or public right-of-way.
Well, I mentioned at the top of the show that I'm in the Bryan High School Cosmetology Lab. I'm joined now by Sharonda Williams, who is the instructor in that program. And Sharonda, a few weeks ago, or actually last semester, we did a profile on the cosmetology program, so hopefully our viewers already know a little bit about that. But you're here today to tell us a little more about a fundraising opportunity that your girls and boys are going to do, and it will benefit you down the road. So tell us something about that.
We're getting ready for our competition, so therefore we're doing a fundraiser for our community as well as Bryan ISD employees to be involved in, and also expand our students to be able to work on live people instead of working on just their mannequins, and get some hands-on training. One of the things that we're going to be doing will be a manicure and a pedicure combination, which you can get that for like $20, or facial and pedicure, or we can make a combination. So we will be excited to see how many people we can get in and get the community and our Bryan ISD employees involved.
Great. So those are some great prices, by the way. So we'll give you a little more information later on in the show about exactly what this money is going for. And this just fits right in with this whole Project Open for Business effort, and we really want the community to come in and see what you have to offer.
Right.
Well, January is School Board Recognition Month, so we want to take a few minutes to thank our hardworking board members. Ms. Williams, we're back again in the cosmetology lab. You mentioned that the girls are raising money for a competition. Tell us more about that.
The competition is started Skills USA that we've been involved in. It used to be called VICA, and they changed the name, but it's still the same. We have been involved in it as far as even when I was here at Bryan High School back in 1991, and so it's exciting to me to know that it's still here and the girls can be involved and guys can be involved. One of the things about the competition, it shows them leadership skills and motivates them to really be in the industry that they've chosen, a career, not just a job. And so we start district in February, and it moves on. If they place in district, which is in Beaumont, Texas, we'll travel there, and it's about 2 nights and 3 days total. And they compete in every hairstyling, manicuring, esthetician, which would be facials. So it's really exciting. They also can do projects, which would be one of the projects would be made an innovative project, which they could build a salon, and it would be judged. And they can move on to what we call state competition, which is always in Corpus, and that's in March. So our fundraiser helps with us getting the things that we need, the supplies, for the students to be able to work on that.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a great opportunity for the girls, and if I recall, they've done very well in the past few years in the competition.
Yes, they have. We've placed, we've even gone to nationals. So
Great.
That is one of our goals, again, to be able to reach that point
Great.
as well.
Well, good luck to you and the girls for
Thank
that
you.
competition.
Thank you.
Bryan High School's ROTC program experienced a drop in enrollment a few years ago, but we're happy to report that the unit is active and thriving now.
I'm Major Jim Boydston. I came to Bryan High School at the request of the folks up here in the administration at the Bryan ISD and Maxwell Air Force Base, which is our controlling Air Force unit for junior ROTC. They're controlled through Air University. And of course they have instructors that come out and teach junior ROTC. And the program that they had here had been established in 2001. Its designation is TX-CW. Bryan has always had a long history of junior ROTC programs and has been a great contributor to Texas A&M University. And having attended A&M and of course having a lot of friends at Texas A&M, I saw an opportunity to come back to this area that I'm very familiar with and do something for the students that might not have been done before in a large number of years for junior ROTC. The transition right now within the military is a little bit more toward the Guard and the Reserves, but what we really try to do is bring to the students different packages that allow them to get educational benefit. In the last 5 years that I've been an instructor in the junior ROTC program, one of the things we've always tried to do is bring to the table to those students the education benefits as well as the duty and the careers and the things that they can look forward to after graduation from high school. So it's basically a two-pronged approach. Our charter is to create citizens of America and to create really good citizens. The rest of that charter is to present to them military options. And of course, we represent all the branches of the military, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, the Navy, and the Coast Guard. We don't necessarily advocate that they go into the military, but we present those options as possible careers. Some students want to go in that direction, and that's fine. Some students are also looking for a way to fund their way through college. And I know a number of students that have gone into the military to capture that. And some of the programs we have can offer the students as much as $180,000 to go to school on. So they come to us, they go through junior ROTC, we get them prepared for a quasi-military career. They jump into a senior ROTC program like the Corps of Cadets at Texas A&M. They get funded to go into the Corps of Cadets. Initially when they go in, they get $2,500 right off the bat. And then we work on building up the rest of the money that it takes to go to college. And right now, everybody knows it's fairly expensive, something in the latitude of $90,000 to $120,000 for a 4-year degree. We can give them approaches where they can go into the Guard and the Reserve, really have no active duty commitment for their whole career, and spend most of that time picking up between $15,000 and $45,000 a year to go toward their college tuition, their books, and all the necessities of life. Then at the end of their college program, when they're ready to graduate, if they elect to go into the military, they'll be offered a commission. And of course right now, you know, I'm a parent of 7. I'm here to tell you, if you've got a child that's going to graduate from college and suddenly has a job that's going to pay them $65,000 to $75,000 a year, they're employed, and you have no college debt, this is a good deal. And that's what we try to bring to these kids, is the opportunity to excel and go into programs that they really want to do and have it paid for. And it's really kind of a low threat situation because they're in the Guard and the Reserve, they're not in active duty. So that's what I've tried to bring back to Bryan High School and to Bryan in particular, some of those opportunities that maybe haven't been here in the past. When we got here, the unit was a rather fledgling unit. They hadn't done a lot of things to get the students motivated toward looking at ROTC in the military as an alternative to funding their college. And since I've been here, we've talked to the students a lot about that. We've brought them up to speed on what the viability is for those things. So my focus has been to get the unit reestablished, get our numbers back up well to over 100, and we achieved that within just a few weeks of being here. We've taken the students to student summer leadership programs. We've had a couple of field trips. We've got some more field trips scheduled. We're going to go to different military museums. We're going to take a trip down to NASA, go behind the scenes and see what the astronauts go through. Maybe even put a couple of kids in a couple of the simulators and let them do a simulated launch with a shuttle. So there's a lot of different activities that we're bringing forward that give them a different view and a different perspective of the military and life after high school. And that's what we want to try and do for them.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! One more dirty dish, the pot that I fried the turkey in.
You're not supposed to pour grease down the drain.
I've been putting it down the drain for years. We haven't had any problems. What a beautiful day. Oh, what is that?
The City of Bryan reminds you not to pour fats, oils, and grease down the drain because it could clog your sewer.
A 7th grade math class at SFA Middle School was named the regional champion in the Lone Star Math Cup. The class won a party to celebrate their honor as being the regional champions in this online math contest.
Miss Bean's class run the Region 6 championship in our Lone Star Math Cup. It was a Think Through Math contest run between November 5th and November 30th. Miss Bean's class did more math successfully than any other classroom in all of Region 6 in Texas. So it's a pretty big achievement.
Think Through Math is a website that Bryan ISD adopted and was able to use in our schools. Our math labs have been using it for a little over 2 months now, and they are able to use it 3 to 4 times a week and earn points based on if they get questions right, if they do well on post-quiz, pre-quiz, and stuff like that. They were regional champs through the Region 6 district in the state of Texas, and so they earned an average, the greatest average amount of points for the class.
Hello, I'm Randy McGregor, Fire Chief for the City of Bryan, and I'm standing here at the Tropicana Apartments on Kent Street. 2013 marks the 35th anniversary of a tragic apartment fire here where Bryan firefighter Richard Lopez was killed in the line of duty. On the night of August 23, 1978, now retired Bryan firefighter David Turek was here and gives us details of what occurred that night. This program is to honor firefighter Lopez for his ultimate sacrifice to the citizens of Bryan and to remind all current and future personnel of how important safety is each day. We must remain diligent in everything we do to ensure this type of event never happens again, as it did 35 years ago right here behind me.
My name is David Turek. You know, a little bit of history about me is I was a firefighter for the City of Bryan from 1973 to 2009. And, you know, and in that time, there's a lot of changes that have taken place. So what we're here today for is to remember Richard Lopez, our fallen firefighter, and to kind of give you an idea of what happened that night he died. And also to talk about that, you need to kind of understand what was taking place in 1978. It was a different department with a lot different resources. We had no BSTI, there was no incident command system, there was no way to track firefighters on the fire ground except by seeing them. Communications were real sparse. The only people who had radios was the shift captain, lieutenants, and the radios on the trucks. Station 1 was still downtown. It had an engine with a lieutenant, an operator, and 2 firefighters. It had a second booster that was the attack truck. It usually had a driver and a firefighter. Then we had a shift captain that had a van, and he usually had a driver. There was a 65-foot aerial ladder sitting at the station that was not manned. If the captain, when the call came in, thought we needed it, he would tell someone to drop off a unit and bring it. Station 2 had 2 engines. One of them had a lieutenant, an operator, 2 firefighters, and the other unit was more of a supply engine. It had an operator and maybe a firefighter. There was no ambulance. There was no 911 district. When someone called to report a fire to the fire phone, Station 1 would pick it up and talk to get the information. Station 2 would pick it up also and just listen in. So from that point, it was quite a different operation. The night of August the 21st, late night, the call came in to the Tropicana apartments that were on fire. So one of the things about Tropicana, it was a big horseshoe-shaped, two-story apartment building with a courtyard and a swimming pool in the center of the courtyard. The first arriving units found that there was heavy fire load on one of the end apartments at the end of the horseshoe, open end, and below it there was like a carport with a car burning underneath. The car was pretty quickly put out, but the apartment was rolling pretty good. So I and another firefighter went up to start searching apartments. We went with no hose line, no flashlights, no lifeline, just air packs and us two guys searching the smoke-filled apartment. We searched that apartment for a while and became lost. And if it hadn't been for another firefighter that came to the door of the apartment and started calling to see if anyone was in there, we probably would not have made it out. But by listening to his voice and calling back to him, we were able to get to the door and get out. Well, we searched a couple of more apartments while other crews were trying to put the fire out in the burning apartment. After a while, we went down to the truck that Richard was operating to start changing out air bottles and to try to catch our breath. A man came up and started yelling that his friend was in an apartment upstairs and pointed it out to us. And I had told the guy that there's no one there. We've been in that apartment, searched it, it's clean, and he just kept on yelling that the guy was there, and we kept telling him no. Well, Richard overheard the conversation. He told the guy that I'll go up and check to make sure. I told Richard that there's no reason to go up there, we just came out of that apartment. So at that point, I became ill and wound up going to the hospital for some rehab. The last time I saw Richard, he was taking an air pack out of a case, putting it on, and getting ready to go upstairs to make a search. So goes up there, starts trying to make a search, gets lost, runs out of air, and that's where he was found by firefighters after the fire was pretty much out doing overhaul and came across his body. The issue that comes up, I always remember, why do things like that happen? Well, that was the way we operated in those days. I'm not saying good or bad, that was just operations. Richard went up to search by himself. He didn't go tell anyone what he was doing. No hose line, no lifeline. Nowadays we have things, operational guidelines to try to keep you safe. Don't shortcut those guidelines. You have BSTI, you have Incident Command System, you have a radio communication, everyone. You have an emergency alert tones. So try to truly make sure that everyone goes home. I want to take the opportunity to thank you for giving me the honor to be here to tell the story, because not just that Richard died at a fire, but the legacy of what happened and how it happened is something that we all need to remember to try to keep yourself from getting into a situation of harm.
When I am called to duty, God, whenever flames may rage, give me strength to save some life, whatever be its age. Help me embrace the little child before it is too late, or save an older person from the horror of that fate. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. I want to fill my calling and to give the best in me, to guard my every neighbor and protect his property. And if according to my fate I am to lose my life, please bless with your protecting hand my children and my wife. Enable me to be alert and hear the weakest shout, and quickly and efficiently to put the fire out. This is a fireman's prayer.
Looking for these? You drive BISD. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Nothing kills a buzz like getting pulled over for buzz driving, because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Ms. Williams, we're wrapping up here today in cosmetology. Would you remind our viewers how to get in touch with you if they want to have some services done?
Yes, you can reach Bryan High Cosmetology at 979-209-2569, as well as on our website for Bryan ISD, and the students would love to take care of you.
Thanks for that reminder. We do have a Project Open for Business tab on the Bryan ISD website. Click that and you can get in touch with cosmetology or any of the other services that are involved in that program. Well, that's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching. I'm Sandy Farris.